You got to Winnipeg, but it was kind of a roundabout way. Tell us how you ended up here.
Well, I signed with the Baltimore Orioles in the offseason as a free agent, and I went to spring training and I hyperextended my elbow, and then I rehabbed that, and then I came back, and then I had shoulder problems. So up until about 4 days ago, I was in Sarasota rehabbing, finally got healthy, and then they released me. So I headed up to Richmond from Sarasota to see my buddy Tyler Graham, and he played here last year, and he let me know that I should come take a look at Winnipeg because it's one of the top places he's ever played. So I did that, and then next thing you know it, here I'm on a flight going to Quebec City.
It's kind of a roundabout way again. You started with the team in Quebec, but at least you got to Canada quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've spent a little time in Vancouver when I was in short season low a while ago, but it's been a good experience so far. The people have been really nice.
Tell us where you come from, where you're home, and how you got to become a professional baseball player, because there's a lot of work when you're a young player.
Yes, a lot of work. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I grew up there. I ended up – Go Blues, yeah. I know they had a good year. They're a good team. Went to University of Arkansas my freshman year, then transferred to University of Missouri, got drafted by the Giants, worked my way up the system all the way to AAA. And then got an invite last year to Major League Camp. Unfortunately, had tore my oblique at the end of spring, so I missed a couple months there. Went to rehab in San Jose, California, stayed there the whole season, 6-year free agent. Orioles picked me up. Next thing you know it, the Winnipeg Goldeyes.
Do you ever wonder when the injuries will end?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's unfortunate, but sometimes it's like, when's the next one going to happen? You know, unfortunately, it gets like to that point, but it's part of the game, and baseball is not a very natural sport for your body, so you just kind of learn to go with the punches.
Rick said that what he appreciated most about you were you're a versatile player, could play a lot of different positions, and fielded whatever position he'd put you at really well. Would that be a good description? Yeah,
I think so. I think just basically keep it simple. I play hard every day, and I guess they can expect that out of me. That's all I can, give the offer.
Have you had any trouble at all adjusting to this pitching because you're swinging the bat pretty well?
I try to have the same approach no matter who's pitching, so I think my approach will work here at any level. But I understand they like to work around the plate a little bit, and they don't overpower you too much. But I'm going to make the adjustments I need to make.
Historically, with this team, you don't see a lot of fastballs.
Yes, and we have a pretty good lineup, and I don't blame the pitchers for not throwing many fastballs.
Thanks, Brock. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
After 12 years, you're finally a fixture here. It looks good in the hallway.
Yeah, they did a nice job, and I'm very humbled because it's a very nice gesture from everybody in the front office, from Andrew and Dan and everyone that was involved with that. It's a good feeling.
12 years is a long time, and you aren't a guy who has come to us very often to talk on television. You're a guy who pretty much keeps to himself and stays pretty quiet. You let your hitters do the talking, and you've got to be getting happy now because these guys are starting to rake.
Yeah, well, you try to give them 100 at-bats under the belt to just kind of get settled in and feeling good. And yeah, I'm real happy when things are going well like this, and just want to try to keep it to continue and be consistent with it.
Some guys got off to really slow starts this year. You've worked extra hard, and the players have worked hard. And that's the one thing you always say is that it's the players who do the work. Would that be true this year as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's true any year. If you put the work in, the results will be there at the end. And you just got to respect the process and not try to rush things. Because once you start rushing and you start looking for answers, those are when you're going to start prolonging the slumps. And guys are working real hard. We got a really good group in there, and they do a really good job.
Do you ever get into a position where you try to pick stuff up, or do you let the guys do that?
Well, it's all give and take, really. Sit and talk with them and just lend an ear to them when they need to talk and try to give them your feedback of what you see. And as long as there's open communication, we can usually kind of put our heads together and figure some things out.
You've been here a long time. Do you like this job?
I do. It's sure beats working for a living, and it's fun. It's fun getting to know new players every year and the interaction that goes with that. And it's a challenge every year, and it's a fun challenge. And it's nice to see when you look back at the end of the year the body of work that you've done, and kind of see where you started and where you came from. So, it's every year brings a new challenge, and that's fun.
You have one thing you have to do before we let you go. Explain your New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup final.
Well, they couldn't hold a lead in the second period, right? It's you played well for 2 periods, and it just seemed like they got kind of caught off guard when the Kings went on their push. I mean, you had to expect that they were going to make a push in the third period, especially in their own barn, and it was a little disappointing the way they kind of, I wouldn't say turtled, but they sure didn't generate a lot of offense in the third period in those games, and just kind of got back on their heels, and the Kings just came too hard for them, started playing the puck behind our defense, and they're a really good team down low. They outmuscle you, and they created some chances and bumped Lundqvist around a little bit and maybe kind of got him off his game, but very proud of, as a fan, of what they were able to accomplish this year, especially after the way they started the season. So just hope that there's bigger and brighter things ahead.
Goldeyes hitting coach Tom Vaeth and future head coach of the New York Rangers.